Hey everyone, this is Russell with Travel Lips, and today I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to operate the app for the light show animator. And so what you want to do is go to your app store, whether it be the Android or Apple App Store, and download Bandland X. It's the one right there at the bottom left, Bandland X. There's the little symbol right there. And then once you've done that, just simply open it. Oops, there we go. And what'll pop up, it may not pop up instantly like this. I've already had this open, but it might refresh or look like it's scanning, and then what you're looking for will pop up. And with a brand new unit that's never been used, never been renamed, you've just installed it, you're going to select the top one in this case, which is SP601E. And so what you'll do is just select that, and you're going to open it, and this is what you're going to see. Now, I'm operating two different animators, one for each whip, and I'm going to give a little demonstration of why later on. But for the moment, I'm only operating the whip on the left, so that'll be considered channel 1. If I had another whip hooked up on the second channel, I would just turn it on here. But I've got it off for the moment. One of the first things I like to do is, once you get to this point, I like to log into the animator's screen that allows you to rename the device. So simply just press the three dots up in the upper right hand corner, and then just select that, and select the field, and then just pick a name for it. I'm just going to call this number 1. I think the other one was 2, just for the sake of this. So now when you go back out, I will just to show you, there it is, number 1, and then number 2 is on the left. So again, these would be different animators. I'm only controlling the whip on the left with animator number 1, and I've got animator number 2 running the whip on the right. And again, I'll show why later on. It's going to be a part of this whole groups thing. What it allows you to do is create a group, and you can add people to it, and then you can all run the same scene or animation through there. So it means if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, I don't even know how many it goes up to be honest with you. I've never gone past 4 myself, but you can all run the same scene or animation if you'd like to. So I'm going to go back into 1. That's the one we renamed, and it's connecting to it. And so here you are. All right, let me go into, if you want to go into the actual animations for channel 1, you just select the blue field like this. Sorry, there we go. And the first thing it's set up for right now is in the upper right here, or I should say the upper middle right. That's what's called the color palette, and this allows you to select the different solid colors that are available. At the bottom, you have these ones that you cannot change, and then you have your do-it-yourselves, which you can, if you create a custom color per se, let's say you wanted a custom, I don't know, purple or something, you can drag this with your finger, and when you get to where you want, it's now saved. So if anybody changes out of it, you can go right back to it, and it's saved. To get into the animations, to actually see some of the programs, it's this screen right here. So you just tap on the little icon left to center instead of the color palette on the right. And this is animation number 1. You can affect the speed and the length of things. This one doesn't allow you to change any of the colors, but that's because it's actually running in a gradient pattern, so it's all colors. Let me go to one that people really kind of seem to enjoy. 9. There it is. So that's a real popular one. It's red, white, and blue. In this one here, we can change the speed, as you can note right here, the length, and you can also reverse the flow. So if I touch this, now you see it's going a different direction. So now it's going to come back down just by affecting that. Let me go to one where you can change the color. I think it was number 2. No, number 2. Okay, number 3. Yeah, so this is number 3. So they call this in the app, it's number 3, but it's Twinkle Star. You can affect the speed on this one, it looks like. The direction doesn't change because it's random as it is, but you can change the colors here. So you can pick from the solid colors they already have here for you. Like for instance green, you can see it changing as I'm touching them, blue, or you can customize it any way you want. That's the simplest explanation to the way this operates. Let me double check here. you can, in this screen, so if you touch the little three dots up in the corner here, let me do it again, you can apply this to channel 2. So if I had this whip over here on the right connected to the same animator, if I apply that, it'll do the exact same thing that one's doing on this whip, and then they're in sync. So no matter which animation you select. And let's see, the other thing you can do, and I recommend this almost in the beginning, I should have already shown you this, is the color calibration. So what that does is, sometimes when the animators, our animators, sometimes they don't know which color's red, green, or blue, and so you can calibrate them by simply hitting that. You'd only ever have to do it one time. So if you ever notice it, or just run this calibration from the get-go, yeah, that's a green whip, or green. Now it's on red, and now the whip is calibrated, so it knows which is red, which is green, and which is blue inside of each LED die. So that's pretty simple. Let's go back. So here we bar back out here again. There's this section called scenes. This is going to correlate to your remote. So you've got 1 through 9, and on your remote you have buttons 1 through 9. There. Scene 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see there. You can, let me see if I can grab this here. So the scene 1 would be that gradient pattern. If you want to change that, let me go back to channels real quick. Let me go here, and we'll go back to this twinkle. And what we can do is go back out here, select scenes, and then the 3 little dots in the upper right. You can either rename the device, which we've already done, or you can save effects to a scene. That's what we want to do. So we're going to save this animation here to scene 1. And we'll select OK. And we'll want to cover the scene, so that's erasing what's already there. Done. Now scene 1 is what you see. The other thing you can do is if you touch and hold scene 1, you can rename it. So in this case, I'll do, just to show you, is PPL Twink. Maybe that'll be good. There we go. So now I've saved that. So a lot of people, when they do like the red, white, and blue, they'll name it, 4th of July, or they'll just name it RWB or something like that, but it gives you something to remember when you're in the app and you're looking for something specific. So that's how you do all of those things. Now, let me go back out of here real quick. So here we are back at the main screen. After you open the app, you get 1 and 2. And we have groups. And I created this group. So if you want to create a group, you just literally hit the plus symbol, new group, and you'll just name it like this. Now, if you create the group, you're automatically in it, so you don't have to look for yours. Let me see if this one is modify device list. So right now, number 2 is in it. Let's add number 1. If there are others in the area, you can add them as well. And select done. And now when you go into this, it will be like the app, the part of the app where you control your unit, but now you're going to control everyone's units. Let me check this. Yep. Oh, they're both on the same, no, they're on different animators. So they're both also channel 1. So I'm turning off the channel 1 on both animators. If I had a channel 2 hooked up on them and I did that, it would change them. So now if I go in here and I select this, they're all red. This is 2 different animators operating 2 different whips. And you can see that if you were in a group and this is your car and this is your buddy's car on the right, we're now making those changes. See? So, and they will be in sync. Now, notwithstanding, the whip on the left has fewer LEDs than the one on the right, so the animations are not in sync, and that's because of the difference in the LED count. So that's pretty much it, folks. Couple quick tips on installing the animators. I recommend that you put them in the rear, closest to the whips as possible. Not for any other reason other than each whip requires 3 wires. And so if you mount your animator up front, you're going to have to run 6 wires all the way back. So a lot of times I tell people to mount the animator up against the back firewall, like in the rear fender well area, somewhere out of the way where it's not going to be damaged by rocks and things flinging, but at the same time makes it easier for the wire runs to each of the whips. And so you can see by this demonstration, I mean, the app and the whips are very dynamic. You can do a lot of really cool things. So if you have any questions, give us a call. we'll be happy to help. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen today, and look forward to getting you some more videos later on. Have a great day, everyone.